Welcome to America Advances.
The U.S. is still falling behind on electronic warfare, special operators warn. The U.S. military is still falling behind its potential adversaries in electronic warfare, a former three-star special operator said last week at the SOF Week conference in Tampa, Florida, and he wasn't the only one to express this concern. The gap between where the United States should be and where we are, in my judgment, continues to expand, not everywhere, but in far too many places, said Mike Nagata, a retired Army lieutenant general who led special operations in the Middle East and is now a senior vice president for Khaki International. If the Pentagon wants to regain its advantage in this increasingly important warfare domain, Nagata stated, it must get more creative in its use of radio technologies, especially space-based communications. Nagata is not the first to raise this issue. In 2022, the National Defense Strategy Commission reported that the United States is losing its advantages in electronic warfare, hindering the nation's ability to conduct military operations against capable adversaries. This concern was echoed by two recently retired special operations personnel who work in electronic warfare. They noted that one reason Russia is so far ahead is that Moscow disregards international laws against jamming civilian telecommunications. Additionally, the Kremlin has consistently invested in and experimented with electromagnetic innovation, whereas U.S. efforts in electronic warfare were focused on gathering intelligence in the relatively permissive environments of the Middle Eastern wars. The war in Ukraine is highlighting the effectiveness of modern Russian electronic warfare, EW equipment against American weapons. Russian jamming has reduced the efficiency rate of GPS-guided Excalibur 155mm artillery from 70% to 6%, according to Daniel Patt, a senior fellow at the Hudson Institute, who reported this to lawmakers this month. Similarly, drones, small-diameter bombs, and some communication systems have shown vulnerability to these jamming efforts. At the SOF Week conference, U.S. special operators sought solutions on the exhibit floors. Officials from U.S. Special Operations Command's Tactical Information Systems discussed their needs with industry representatives, focusing on two key programs. The first, the Satellite Deployable Node program, is designed to connect troops on the battlefield to space-based data links. The second program, the Tactical Local Area Network, aims to condense the computing power of entire server racks into a portable form, helping operators in the field find unjammed frequencies to use. These programs largely rely on commercial off-the-shelf equipment, so we depend on you to make things smaller, lighter, and faster, said one official. He could have added cooler and less power-hungry to emphasize the need to avoid detection by enemy sensors. Gotena, a company already collaborating with the broader international special operations community, though not explicitly with SOCOM, offers a mobile mesh network that uses radio for short, low-energy communications bursts for chat, messaging, and location. One problem identified in discussions with this community is that high-energy signatures, particularly from satellite communications like Starlink and Starshield, are easily detectable, said Chris Boyd, Gotena's vice president of product. The Gotena unit, about the size of a sunglasses case, can connect to satellite or cellular networks, enabling long-distance communication at low power, which helps operators remain undetected. Company officials demonstrated the device by connecting two users 532 miles apart over a 7 kHz 100-watt channel. The device allows operators to select or move within the spectrum to find empty channels and unused wavelengths. Creative workarounds like those will be essential for using high-energy satellite communications without exposing troops to targeting. SOCOM is actively seeking to acquire more satellite communications. We're exploring many variants and seeking redundancy, a second official stated, noting that such satellites could operate in geostationary, medium Earth, or low Earth orbits. You'll see some offerings in the next few months. Gone are the days when we operated SATCOM from a fixed location. We are now extending that to moving platforms on the way to the objective, which is really changing the landscape of how we handle communications. However, SOCOM's use of space isn't limited to communications. The command already has a small satellite called MISR for collecting signals intelligence, and is looking to develop more SOCOM-specific satellites. This is really a demonstration of SOF unique payloads, examining how we can migrate some systems from other program management shops to space, the second official explained. Nagata emphasized that mastering low Earth orbit satellite communications is crucial for U.S. military operations in the face of Russian electromagnetic interference. He highlighted that the two most important actions the United States can take are innovating the acquisition process and better incentivizing the military to take more risks. The U.S. government, especially its leadership from senior military officers to civilian policymakers, must be willing to take more risks in experimenting with, adopting, and employing new technologies. We will face failures along the way, but if you're not willing to fail, you're not going to succeed, Nagata said.
That's it for today's video, soldiers. I remind you that you can subscribe to stay updated with the latest military news.